extraordinary distinguished persons are on the days. A person who is responsible for my whatever achievements about which I can brag about in the field of polio was mainly due to Krishna Chikale, who is sitting there, quietly sitting there. He used to do this remote control. He must have had a remote control in politics, but in Rotary also, he used to get things done through me, he and Dr. Ken House. So like that, we have Mr. Murali here, but he helped me, he cannot recollect, about Rajaji's book, about Mr. Raju mentioned, very nice of him to have given so many complimentary things, said so many complimentary things about me. That book, Tamil book about Rajaji's biography, I telephoned him. I wanted some photos, old vintage photos. He said, you go to our archives, choose whatever photos you want. 32 photos I chose. The bill was something. Then he said, no bill because you are writing Rajaji's book, you take it. That was Murali. He's always, when I see on the day so many distinguished persons and also here in front of me, great persons, I am genuinely moved. I am very much moved by your gesture. There are one or two things I would like to briefly mention because time is running short. This particular program is a very important program in the annals of the wiping out of polio through the entire country. See, it started in 2-3 points. One was Tamil Nadu government. Tamil Nadu government at that particular point of time when we interacted with the Rotary was headed by a very benevolent person, MGR. Dr. MGR was the chief minister. And I had the privilege of his attract confidence in me. Often I would go to tell him, you don't come and tell me, you do whatever you want. Carte blanche, full powers I was given by him. So that is how I was able to interact. So when this concept was originally thought of by the Rotary, before that, many people may not know, they were also concerned about measles. Am I right, Dr. Jacob John? Measles. Measles, then we have the problem of temperature and all these things, cold chain of both polio and measles. So we had to go and inspect a place which is near the airport. So I took all of them, they also I think had come to King Institute. We had the King Institute. There we found out all the details that are required to keep massively huge quantities of these vaccines perfectly without disturbing the cold chain. So that was cold chain problem. We sorted out. Then we wanted to do something with regards to districts. So Dr. Kapali was the Director of Public Health. I didn't have to ask anything with regards to these three persons to my Chief Minister. I didn't have to take his permission, full power. So in the Secretariat, I called Dr. Kapali, all the Rotarians, Dr.Krishna, Mr. Chitle, Dr. Ken Hawks. Ken Hawks is a wonderful person. In fact, he was this Paul Harrison's fellow that he gave me. He was the person who was responsible for that award for me. I was terribly moved. He said, this is in recognition of your work, he said. So, all of that. Then I told Dr. Kapali, so now henceforth, as far as polio vaccine, cold chain and other things, and then as far as measles are concerned, these are your bosses, I said. So they are going to be your bosses. Dr. Kapali was the Director of Public Health, don't forget, very powerful post. So he says, they will be telling you, and I want your entire team to be at their disposal. So that was achieved. That was a wonderful thing. A government department at the disposal of the Rotarians was something I would say may not happen. It will happen. I would say thanks to MGR also. If he had not given me so much powers, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So then last point, I want everyone to know how, talking about myself is very irrelevant. I should talk more about the Rotary, the part Rotary played in wiping out polio is 10 times more then the part I have played. Since they had this concept, today you might know, once, 2 times or 3 times in a year, the entire country, all the children, one stroke, mostly Sundays. In fact, our hospital, Hande Hospital also, that's also one of the hospitals. Private hospitals, all the primary health centers, all these places, hundreds and hundreds of them are chosen all over India, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, all places. Sometimes the president puts the drops, the chief minister puts the drops, all this particular, but one stroke, the whole country, oral polio vaccine. This it's called PAND project, am I right, sir?
Pulse polio.
Pulse polio. That's called pulse polio, and he called, Dr.H.V.Hande used to call it PAND universal. So this pulse polio concept was the brainchild of Rotary, for which all of us are devoted to that. I did not, it was not my concept. I was not, I was not play or play, I was not indulge in plagiarism. It is completely the project, the idea, the concept, almost the idea of the concept of the Rotarians. So hats off to Rotarians for this concept. And it was implemented first in Tamil Nadu. Soon after that, in another important person I should mention. Then we had a wonderful health minister at the center. Many of you may not know, he later on became the Prime Minister of India. Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao. He was a brilliant person. The person of all, I had so many, 4 or 5 union health ministers. The best union health minister I've seen, person who understands things so brilliantly, brightly and can implement was P.V. Narasimha Rao. It will be wrong or not if you do not remember the services of P.V. Narasimha Rao. So when this was conveyed to Honorable P.V. Narasimha Rao, he said, we will replicate it all over the country. So that all this history, many people may not know. That is why when he called me, I said, I must tell this. Because many of you Rotarians do not know. Something like your children may not know what their parents did or their grandparents did. So like that, the whole previous Rotarians, this concept was assimilated, grabbed by P.V. Narasimha Rao, and then it was universalized, replicated all over the country, and therefore we have today, different persons can take credit, nothing. Afterwards, once I saw, I read in the papers, Ghulam Nabi Azad that took the credit for himself. Our BJP health minister at that time, Dr.H.V.Hande, he took the credit. All of them. It is like giving the baton. The baton is given, passed on from person to person. But at each point of time, somebody has done the contribution which should not go unsaid. That is all my point. With these words, I once again I thank the Rotarians very much, immensely, for giving me this opportunity to say a few words. And for honoring, this is not an ordinary honor. See, getting honored when you are in office is a routine thing. They remembered me even so many years, for 3 decades since I'm out of office. But still, they remembered, they picked me up, and they have given this honor to which I am tremendously beholden. Thank you very much. Thank you.